Oh, hello. I have a very special viewing treat for you today. So sit back, relax, grab a sandwich, maybe even a pickle. You don't like pickles? Don't you want it?
Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it?
Hello, I'm Outy Banjo, and welcome to Factorio, the game of machines, more machines, and spaghetti-like conveyor belts. At least the way I like to play. I thought I would do a quick video here just to kind of give a tour of my 200 plus hours base. This isn't like some ultra efficiency project. This is the base that like, I've only ever played one game of Factorio since I got the game. It's a game I learned to play on. Like, I learned to play Factorio on this map, on this game, and I've never stopped playing it because you don't have to, because you can just keep playing and keep building, and that's what I've done. I have some like pretty cool, like, even though it's late game, like pretty advanced game already, I have lots of cool advanced level projects that I thought would make cool videos later on, and I wanted to kick that off by kind of just showing you around. This is kind of like the center of my factory here. Well, let me show you the map first. Here's the layout of my factory. It's pretty big. I've got my main machines all in here. This is primarily right now powered by solar panels. That's all these black things here, and then the accumulators, which are all these gray things here, for battery, for storage of that energy to use at nighttime when solar's not working. I've kind of got a bunch of little rail logisticized outposts that go around the base, and I kind of plan for more rail expansion at some point. But one second, let me turn that music down just a little bit. No, that's not it. I did the same thing. Sounds, thank you. I still want a little bit. I think if I'm talking over it plus sound effects of the game, I think I might be okay copyright-wise. I've seen a few others who kind of leave the music in. I figure if I just kind of keep it in the background and low-key, it might be alright. Over here to the north and to the west and northwest, I've kicked all the aliens out of this and walled it off. So I've got like a resource playground up here now that I plan to take advantage of, and kind of am. It's going to take a while to build up the infrastructure there. My whole my in-game plan for this game is what you see down here. This frontier, deep frontier express. I plan to go as far out as I can possibly go, and this is kind of where I'm at right now. And that's going to be in later videos. That's going to be cool, because resources actually get more and more abundant the more you go out here. As you see, that's like a $34 million iron, or million unit iron ore deposit. Whereas over here, well, that's like 21. That's still pretty big. But as you get closer, see, that's only 11 million. That's only 4.4. Those are actually very big ones, 6.6. But near the base, they're not that big. But as you go way out there, they get kind of ridiculous. I found one that's 58, I think. That one, 58 million. That's huge. Also, the aliens, as you can see, the clusters get bigger and bigger. So that'll be fun. Back to my base. So it has rails that go all around it. It has two main depots here. One is just a logistics drop-off that goes to the logistics network, and this is like the heart of my factory. This one right here. Let's go take a look. All the trains and a lot of the belts dump off their stuff in this. This is like my pride and joy. This is my train unloader and master sorting thing. It can handle 8 types of products, any kind of ore, except for uranium. It can also handle any kind of plates, so like steel, iron, and copper, as well as crude oil and empty barrels. And it unloads train. I have a 9. Well, I have 2 types of trains that I build. One is a 4-car, one is a 9-car. The 9-car consists of 4 locomotives and 5 cargo cars. And so this is designed for unloading the 5 cargo car trains. And it can unload them super fast. I hope one's going to come along here soon. Looking at the signals, nothing's on its way yet, but they stop by pretty regularly. So here in a second, hopefully we can see that. Into this thing goes my junk belt here. My junk belt runs in all kinds of places from the factory and from far away places. Anytime I just want to like send random resources, like maybe it's a small resource deposit that isn't really worth next level production, I'll just like mine it and just send it onto the junk belt if it's nearby. I also use the junk belt to supply older parts of the factory whose resources have dried up, so I can still utilize their production equipment. As the junk belt comes down, this is what it looks like when it's fully loaded. It sometimes has other types of stuff on it as well, but things just get picked off starting here. Like this one picks off iron plates, this one picks off copper plates, and those go there. Oh wait, let's watch this unload real quick. Look at that. I love this thing. I don't know if this is the best way to do this, but I think this thing is cool and I love it. I don't remember how many hours I spent working on the design of this thing, but I can just spend hours watching this unload, and sometimes I do. So this down the middle here is Main Street, and the first inserters that hit it are these filter inserters for each little compartment. That each compartment handles its own product, and then some of that goes to logistics passive storage. Some goes to active storage, like long term elsewhere. And then when it gets to the outside, it also has another run at that. And some of this goes out. Oh, it's done. It's on its way. So some of that goes on these belts that go away from here, like this coal, for example, goes out of here. Some goes to storage, some goes out here, and that feeds other things that need coal. Every resource here pretty much has an out belt. All this little spaghetti stuff here, aside from looking cool and symmetrical, this one here is designed to fill the belt up, make it more dense, make bolt, because these only put it on one side. So that's what the first one does. These two are just proportions. And I don't know the exact, it's somewhere between 1/3 and 1/4. I'd have to do the math. But essentially these two things, what they do is they send a little bit this way and the majority of it on the out belt directly to where the resources are needed. And here comes another train. I love that. It's like mesmerizing. This is my favorite part of the factory, of the whole thing. And you see the steel's coming this way, it's going out where it needs to go. Coal's going that way. Where's the copper? That little bit of copper must have come... there it is. So that copper goes on the out belt that way, and actually it goes a long way around to over here somewhere. There it is. Going up there. So anyway, once this train is unloaded, it will go around to this station, and this is my part of my empty barrel management. What these do, I made a circuit here that runs a timer to where these inserters run for 7 seconds and then turn off for 7 seconds. I wanted to do it something more fancy than that, but honestly, the circuit programming is kind of hard. Oh, and it's off right now, so when these lights turn on, it's running. And when the lights turn off, they're not running. So those load up with empty barrels, and those take those out to the oil outposts where these visit. And I don't manufacture empty barrels out there because I don't want to overload on empty barrels. They'll fill up my logistics storage and clog everything. So you have to kind of manage, you know, like recycling them. You have to send them back and then fill them up and empty them and then send it back. So that's part of that. So then he's going to go out and get more stuff. And while he was there, another train arrived. I have three 9-car trains right now that have 5 cargo cars. And they kind of just run on a routine. They just make their rounds. So anyway, back to the junk belt. All these little things pick off the junk belt as they come in here in order to make it lighter, just so this is less clogged, because the emptier this is when a train arrives, the faster the train can unload. But there's always going to be a little left over, and that's cool, because that's what the sorter's for. It's for sorting all the, you know, the big piles of mixed up stuff. So that's always fine that there's a little bit left, but it's best if I clean this off before it gets there so it doesn't completely clog that. What else? Here's just some of my logistics network storage. I had an overabundance of coal at one point, and I had it all put here. I didn't want to put this into logistics storage yet because I thought it looked kind of neat because it was all in one block. Okay, back. And what else is there to see? This is where I first started building accumulators, and I didn't realize how crazy accumulators get, because I mean that was just the beginning. As you can see over here on the map, there's like it got crazier, and will probably get even crazier. I plan very soon to go to nuclear power, but I'm not gonna stop building on my solar, at least a little bit. You know, like I'm always gonna keep building a little bit of solar in case the nuclear thing doesn't work out. This is like my central metal processing here. We've got iron plates being made pretty much all through here, copper plates here. That goes down into copper coils. This was my main bus, the start of my main bus here, where I just bring everything down, and and the farther I got down here, the more it kind of started going sideways, and then that was probably the craziest period of this factory, of the early development. And then once I got logistics network, oh, it was so much better. Like over here we got inserters, we got bullet magazines, we've got this is my steel production. I mostly supplement this from like remote, far away places, but that one still does quite a bit of the work. Some of these belts don't work anymore, or So like for example, there's been some updates to the game where some recipes have just been broken, like they've been changed entirely. Like Blue Science used to take this. These used to feed Blue Science. It used to be advanced circuits, filter inserter, battery, and steel bars, or is that, what do they call it? Bars or plates? Steel plate. Looks like a bar to me, but plate. All right. And then an update changed it to this. So now it takes advanced circuits, engine units, and electric mining drills. So I just changed that to logistics. And this I'll probably fix someday. Maybe someday soon, I don't know. But at the time, I just didn't have the heart to mess with it because I was just like, oh, I have to... That does all the work to get that... all those 4 different things there. And it doesn't need them now. Out this way is mostly circuit and module production. Got processing units, advanced circuits. It's all logistics network. So around my roboports, and particularly towards those that are close to the middle, like close to this area, I try to make big storage things of what do they call it? Logistic storage chests. Storage chests. That way there's always places for my stuff to go. And here's just more module production out this way. I have some auxiliary steam power that runs on coal. It's all coal-powered power plants. And those also go up this way. Whoops, gonna get trapped. And I had to rebuild all of these because I first built most of these during an earlier design where boilers only took 1 tile, and that was broken with this update. Now they take these heat exchanger, or no, boiler. Okay, no, it's still a boiler. It's a different design now. It used to be like 1 tile. And they also, I think, changed the ratio of how these work. Now, I may be totally backwards wrong on this, but I think they changed it to where every steam engine here needs 0.5 boilers to power it. In other words, 1 boiler powers 2 of these. Where it used to be like 12 or 10 to 16, or was it 12 to 16? I don't remember the old ratio, but I think the new one is 1 to 2. So 1 of these, 2 of those. It seems to work okay. Oh, fluids used to be a big problem before they did an update. At least I think they fixed fluids in an update. Maybe they worked the same and I was just confused and didn't understand how they worked before. But there were all kinds of designs on the internet for how to get fluids moving over long distances, which used to be a big problem. And this was just one of those designs. And I can't believe it didn't break it. Like, I can't believe there's still water pressure in there. Because these pumps now take 2 tiles, and I designed this with the pumps, with the 1 tile pumps, and so they're overcrowded in there, but it somehow didn't break it. It still works. Actually, it probably doesn't. These pumps, I bet, don't... I don't know, they still have water in them. But it might just be going around them. And I'm probably just going to eliminate those because they did something, I think, to fluid dynamics in an update that like, it works so much better now. All over the place, I have solar panels and accumulators just kind of wherever I can fit them. It's like really good to... I think it's a good practice to kind of supplement whatever your other power plans may be. Just supplement that with solar power and battery backup. So when you're in like a power crisis, at least you have something going for you. So like I have a lot of fields like this where it's just like Like, it gets kind of ridiculous. So I don't know if solar is the best plan, because I mean, look, you see kind of what you're dealing with in terms of space, but it's free. Like, it costs money to set it up, but it's not like in real life where you have to do maintenance on them and replace them periodically. This is all my belt work makings. I still have some obsolete parts of the factory that use red and even yellow transportation technology, and I've been updating them little by little, but there's still some. And just a circuit. I just needed some room to make more circuits at some point. This is my rocket. If you don't know what this is, if like you don't even play Factorio, then this is essentially what you need to launch a rocket to win the game. And over here I'm building all this stuff, which are all the little pieces that build the rocket. And it takes forever, because one little thing of this going up is 1%, I think. And it also needs to launch a satellite, which you also have to build. And I'm doing that over here. I've got plenty queued up. And fortunately, there's a thing where you can auto launch with rocket, and that's the only way to get science. Space science. And space science is like your game-ending tech, like your end-of-game technology, and it lets you develop infinite, like just keep going up and up with the technologies. Ooh, I found a problem here with my webcam. Since it's a DirectX surface, with my software, I actually see myself in the thing, and now I can't see the stuff at the top. That's the technology I can work on. That might be a problem. I might have to move my webcam. I mean, it's not too big of a problem. I'm just wondering where I can put it. Maybe down in the lower left. I don't think the lower left uses a lot. Yeah, I think I can put myself in the lower left. 1 second, I'm gonna do that. Okay, I'm back. I don't like being down here because I like the other angle, because then it looks like I'm looking at the game screen more. But I'll be here. I'll hang out here in the lower left, I guess, just for the sake of now we can see all this. Because I mean, this part of the technology tree is, I mean, it's interesting to look at, but I don't really need to see it because this is all completed stuff. But up here is stuff I still need to do. But anyway, space science. That's your game-ending science tech, and you can base every level. It just requires more and more. You know, it'll go like first one will be like 1,000, then it'll go to 2,000, then 3,000, and like this one's up to 8,000. What am I researching now? I forget. It should be the one that... This one. Yeah, I'm up to mining productivity 17. I think that's pretty worthwhile. This over here... I mainly designed this type of stuff before... before fluid barreling, universal fluid barreling was implemented. Like, it appeared in mods first. Uh-oh, train's coming, better stay off the tracks. It appeared in mods, and then, like, I guess the developer decided, you know, like, it was just so dang cool and useful, like, and why not have it, that now it's in the main game, which I love. So that's awesome that you can just barrel everything, because it was originally just oil that you could do that with. And everybody's like, why not other fluids? Why just oil? But anyway, for long-term storage, barrels, like I worked it out, I think in terms of logistic storage chest and barrels, you can fit twice as much per tile in logistic storage as you can with these big fluid tanks. So that's actually a much better long-term fluid storage solution. Up here is my weapon production. At least most of it. Got grenades, got some rockets, got landmines. explosives, which these all need, or most of them do. I've got lots of cars, lots of tanks. I didn't play with the tank until recently, and it's pretty fun, actually. I love running over the trees, like with relative impunity. It's pretty amazing. Oh, and here's the other part of my coal power production. Most of my power comes from solar, but it's supplemented by this. So like right now it's on my accumulators, and it's supplemented by the coal power here. Oh, so the sun just set, so now my solar panels are declining, my accumulators are on the rise in terms of their output. And I think that's adequate for now. I just barely. I feel like it's still underpowered, but maybe not. Maybe it's only... I think the accumulators, when you're on battery powered, only produces what you need, because when this bar here that says production is full, that means the maximum that you can produce is being produced. But I think that might work different for accumulators, because it's usually a healthy sign when this green bar is very small. It means that you have way more capacity than what you're using. But with the accumulators, I think it might just work a little differently, to where it only counts the capacity that it's producing, or something like that. I don't know, because I don't seem to be underpowered. I don't see like brownouts or blackouts happening, so I think that's okay. Here's the sulfur and plastic coming down from my massive sulfur and plastic chemical plant upstairs. Oh, here's my conventional ones that run all my other chemical production down here. Forgot to show you. Yeah, just all throughout here is my main factory chemical production. We got lubricant happening over here. We got sulfur being made there. Oil cracking down to lighter elements. And then up here, once I found coal liquefaction, coal liquefaction is so fun. The fact that you can just produce the fluid chemical stuff from something that you can port around. I was like, I gotta hurry because I see a train's coming, and there it was. But yeah, that you can just put coal on conveyors and port it to a thing that can make fluid chemicals is amazing. So this is my massive coal liquefaction process over here. And up here's a small oil field. It's just conventional oil that runs off that. But these share their chemicals, and together they produce all the sulfur and all the plastic bars I could ever want. Plastic bars are very important for advanced circuits, the red circuits, which so much uses, like everything uses that. Green circuits are like the only other one that are even crazier. Sulfur is mainly used in making sulfuric acid, which is used in all kinds of stuff. Lately I've been using it a lot for uranium mining. That doesn't consume a lot, I don't think. I think sulfur is used for batteries, or maybe it's just the it's the sulfuric acid that's used for making batteries. So I guess that's mostly what that goes to. But yeah, coal liquefaction is like one of the best technologies in this. You can just from coal, heavy oil, and steam, it makes all the standard products that you get from oil processing, which is amazing. But it does need heavy oil to start it. So you got to have here's my restarting mechanism up here, in case, which will happen whenever you tap out of heavy oil. So I've got heavy oil unbarreling, so it does come in, and then just heavy oil barreling for if the heavy oil gets too much. And right now I think I'm just maxed on petroleum, and I'm fine leaving it at that state where it's hanging up the rest of the production until the petroleum gets used up. which will happen when we expand some in future episodes. Last thing I want to show you is probably just my uranium stuff. And then we'll call it an episode. Where is it at? Down here. So I've got 2 uranium deposits that are active right now. I've cleared out all the other ones that I've come into. There was a massive one here. It's still pretty big. It's 410K. 131 left in that. And instead of by train, I don't know, it seemed more cost effective somehow just to conveyor the thing on a long conveyor. Oh, and I also had a really tiny one out here. It looks like it's dried up. But even though it's like a ridiculous way, there was so much of it. Like, I just felt that it would be best to put it on a conveyor and have it just take the snail mail way down here. And I got double rails whenever I can fit them, especially way out here in the boonies. I'm trying to have some double rail infrastructure, so if this gets built up later, I won't be struggling to find room to do a twin rail system. Uh-oh, train's coming. This little part here, I don't know if this works. I may have to bulldoze some stuff and redesign this. I don't know if the trains will utilize this like I hope they will. This lower track here. Oh, we're already here. I didn't even need to wait. So this is my uranium production. It's well underway. I've got 10 processing centrifuges here. I've got 10 more up there. These 20 right here are all the, what do you call it? Conveyer enrichment process, which eats up 3 uranium-238 per process and gives you 1 extra uranium-235, which is the prized stuff, the bright, glowing, super enriched stuff that is good for weapons and nuclear fuel rods. I wanted to save the video of me actually attempting to make a nuclear power plant, so I can make a video out of it and not just do it and have it already done, because it's kind of fun to watch it happen. But here's the uranium fuel cell recycling. I've got it all set up for whenever that happens and we start using up fuel rods. I've made us a surplus of fuel rods over here, or fuel cells. I call them fuel cells. In real life, I think they're rods. But yeah, we've got a whole chest of those, so hopefully that will last us. It's going to be like an 8-reactor plant, but I wanted to build just like one little tile of them here. It's almost done. I think this goes to 50. I hope it does, because these are expensive as shit to make. Like, it takes so many resources just to make one. It's taken me forever to get to this point. Here's all this stuff. Here's all this stuff for the nuclear power plant that I've just been stockpiling, so it's all ready when we want to make it. Steam turbines in here, heat exchangers, heat pipe. These are more centrifuges, which are used for the 3 types of uranium processing, and they're also expensive to make, and they take a long time to make, so I only made 4 little tiles of those. So we got 200. That's more than we'll ever need, probably, for sure. And here's my weapons production, my uranium weapons production. These are fun. I'll do a video where I demo like what all this stuff does. Those are the explosive version. The cannon shells are fired from tanks. And these atomic bombs, I broke my whole uranium process making these the first time because they're so expensive. Each one of these takes 30 uranium-235. That's the super enriched stuff. And I used up all my uranium-235, and it only filled up to like right here or something. And it took me a while to get my uranium process started again, because you need so much like a certain amount of uranium-235 before you can even start enriching, before each single one of these centrifuges can start enriching. So it took a long time to get that started again, back up to full capacity. And then, yeah, all the uranium ammunition takes a long time to make. But I've started using it. I don't think I'll ever have enough to like run it through turrets or anything, and honestly I like laser turrets better. They're just easier for long games. You don't have to, like gun turrets and their ammo, those logistics break down as things get older, and your whole base will get overrun while you're working on a remote outpost or something. So yeah, probably no more gun turrets, but still, this ammo's good, and I still use this stuff sometimes. And I've tested it all out, and I'll show you in another video how cool that stuff is, particularly the atomic bombs. Those are fun. And I think that's mostly it. Back when I was trying to get fluids to go over long distances before they did that patch that seems to have fixed them, I tried everything to get fluid to go through those damn pipes, including all these pumps. Like, as you can see, I got a little frustrated. I went a little overboard here. But that's what that is. I kind of want to show you... Oh, down here is just where I make just like miscellaneous stuff that I don't really use a lot of, but I just kind of wanted to logisticize it so that I could use a logistics slot to request it. So like, you know, rail signals and stuff. Once you have the technology, you're not going to want to use rail. You know what? We'll discuss trains another time. That's just that's a whole every little compartment of this game is its own video, and to even start on it is gonna be a long, involved thing. Oh, here's part of my junk line that I was telling you goes all the way around the base. Since this is a tour of my base video, I thought I might as well at least just show you the start of my Deep Frontier Expedition project. And it's down here. This used to be the outside of my base before I sealed it off with other walls. Oh shit. Anything coming? No, we're safe. I try to put enough rail chain signals up. Like, I don't think you can over-signal your tracks, but I try to put enough up that I can see them too, like where there's always some on my screen so I can read them. Pretty much anything that it says is okay for you to walk across, except for yellow. Yellow means get the fuck off the track, because a train has its pathfinding has planned a route through that track, and you don't know when it's going to come whizzing through. So yeah, if in your own games, remember that yellow means train coming to kill you. Oh, here's one of my remote outposts. Here's one of my remote outposts. I believe this is Sterling. Yeah, this is Sterling. And as you see, they load up their stuff. They also they have two lines, because one unloads the empty barrels that the trains loaded on and brought here, and then the other one loads on the crude oil. And yeah, that one was just waiting to leave. It was already loaded. It was waiting for another train. And over here is my personal little train that I use to move along my Deep Frontier Expedition project. And this is its own. This whole line here is a separate logistics network, and it's just its own self-sustained little thing, because I wanted it to be big enough that it could be self-sustaining, and I can build things in there that I needed to build, but not so wide that I couldn't, have the resources to make it very long. So that's what it does. It takes these 6 conveyors here, go towards the front, and they carry mostly the materials needed to build more of this. And then it has 3 conveyors that go back in case I find really interesting stuff that I want to send back to my main base. And every now and then I have little offload logistics chest nodes here, so that if I need it, then I'll have a nearby node where the bots can carry it to me. These pipes, I kind of conceived this, the plan for this expedition trail thing, expedition road, before fluid barreling, universal fluid barreling update happened. So I thought I might need these, but I'll still probably use these for something. I don't know what I'll do with them. Maybe I'll do like just the standard oil product outputs, like heavy oil, light oil, and petroleum. Because if I do just component products, I have to, there's at least 1 or 2 that I can't take. So if I did sulfuric acid, lubricant, and water, which would all be useful, then I couldn't have petroleum, which is also directly useful as a product. And I also couldn't carry steam. So I think maybe someday I'll pipe some oil into that, and then while it's a pain in the ass to have to break them down further to make them usable, at least then I'll have access to everything. But yeah, it's still, these are kind of unnecessary in light of oil barreling, or universal fluid barreling. And out here we're on a big landfill, and I don't want to make contact with this just yet because there's aliens on the other side, and all hell's gonna break loose once I make a connection. So I build, landfill is part of the things on this belt. I've got landfill here. I've got repair packs. I don't know if I really need the gears in advanced circuits. I just thought I might need them because they're such a universal component in building stuff. These are laser turrets and more belts. Those are definitely usable. Got solar power and accumulators and more power lines. So that's mainly just stuff to build this. I probably should have brought concrete in here, but it's kind of too late. It may not be too late, but it'd be a whole to-do to clean off one of these lines of whatever's on it. So that is, let me just park my train. So that is my base. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I have no idea how long this has been. This has probably been a long-ass tour. And I don't know if it's been boring, because I think it's more fun sometimes to watch someone build something from the start, but we've still got lots of cool projects to do that I think when other people make videos, they usually only get to, with an involved game like this, if they do it from square zero, it takes so long to do this, and especially to make a video to document it, then they only get 13 episodes of it and they never get really advanced. So I think this series is going to be really fun because we're going to start off advanced, and we can just start off making our advanced stuff right away, and it'll be dang cool. And my only disappointment is that just in case I want to leave later, is that I have to hang out in the lower left portion of your screen. I prefer the upper left, but whatever. I think we're done. Holy crap, alien massacre over here. Can't believe that didn't break through. I'm surprised a lot of these attacks don't break through. Anyway, please come back and take a look at my future Factorio episodes, which are going to be super awesome. And I hope you're there with me. I'll be there. I'll be having fun. If you're there, you'll be having a lot of fun too. Bring a snack. Bring a friend. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.
Banjo. Like, subscribe. Like this video. Subscribe to this channel. Secretly before my account is gonna
Don't you want it?